Isn't it messed up how I'm just dying to be him? I'm just a notch in your bedpost and you're just a line in a song. Block out. Break your name. We're always sleeping in and sleeping with the wrong team. All right. Chat, we got a brand new modem. Brand new modem. All good, Scorch. All good, dude. We got a brand new modem. Thanks to our good buddy. What a blessing. Let's get going, baby. We're never going to have internet issues again. Ever. Not even if there's a fire. Breaking the bourbon out? I wish, dude. Nah, not till Super Bowl, Rolfie. Even if there's a fire. And then we're chilling, Rolf. I do not, AP. I know nothing about him, dude, and do nothing with him. All right, I need my phone to not blow up while I do this because I don't want to put my notes on my computer tonight. I tell you what, chat. I tell you what, Bob. I do have a wife. There's a chance that if stream is popping by the end of the sports show that I stay live for a couple hours. A small chance, but a chance. A small chance, but a chance. What up, Marcy? If we pop off, if chat pops off in attendance and chat and all that stuff, we'll see. You look so cute, JB. Thanks, dude. I didn't shower today, so I don't feel cute. Pop. What up, Winger? Good to see you, dude. Appreciate all your help. I'm going to tell the story of everything that transpired tonight on stream tomorrow morning, first thing. What's up, brother? But Winger was awesome. I walk in, dude. There's like a line of people. I'm like, I don't have time for this line, dude. I see this guy kind of looking at me funny. I walk over to him. I'll just tell it now. Ty's muted. I walk over to him. And Amazon sniper. I accepted, but it says something went wrong. Try again, dude. And he kind of looks at me funny, and he's like, you have your ID? And I was like, yeah. And I give him my ID, and he goes, yeah, sir, come here. Hands me everything, answers all my questions, calls me VIP, and I leave. It was unreal. What up, Chris?
Hey, can you guys hear me?
I can hear you. I need Andre to send that again, Ty.
Good luck.
It did not
Good
work.
luck, dude. You're on your own.
You know what, Ty? If you're gonna come in here, bro, just another notch on the bedpost, then you're just a line of the song, dude. You know what I mean?
What
Are you guys live?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm live.
Okay.
You know what I mean, Ty? Just wishing to be the friction in my jeans, bro. Relax. Isn't it messed up how you're just dying to be him, dude?
Okay, Fall Out Boy, relax.
Oh, that was a good reference.
Thank you, dude.
You're 5 years old.
Okay, dude. Yeah, okay.
Tyler, you don't mean that.
Hang on.
Yeah, you take that back, dude. Bless
I
you,
do.
bro. You finally got the sickness, huh? You were bragging about being healthy.
No, I'm okay. I don't know. We'll find out. I'm all right. I think.
Did you have any radishes?
No radishes.
Okay.
Well,
Well, then
keep you guys posted.
you're probably fine then.
What does that even mean?
He did a new test.
I did a new
And
food sensitivity test, and the only
radishes
thing
are
I'm really
number one,
sensitive to, yeah, it's the only thing that was in red. Very odd, actually, because I don't eat them.
Yeah, that is weird.
My notifications are literally not showing up on Twitch. So,
GG, man. Good luck, brother. GG, man. I baited my audience into potentially thinking I was playing Fortnite today, but
we're playing in the morning, right?
Friday.
Huh?
We're you and I Family Fortnite Friday. A new OG season tomorrow drops.
Yeah, for sure.
Tilted Towers, dude. I'm the king of Tilted. They say.
That's not what's happening, but yeah. We'll play tomorrow.
Okay.
Andre, if you want to just gather our, yep, already did it. Scout, share chat's going on. Cool.
It's not going on with me. It's not working.
He's waiting for it. Yo, Chris, I'm almost cap summoning magic by the way right now, dude. Just been sitting out throwing down spirits.
What's
dude.
been your highest damage spell?
Like 113 punch with like a 80 fusion on a fly, on an IT fly. Just absurd. Just ridiculous.
How long do you think it'll take John to
Carry up ball?
acknowledge?
No, I will not.
He doesn't know what's going on.
Oh, dude, no, I actually leveled up my. No, Tide, you laughed, bro. I leveled up my Chocobo to 61.
We're not even talking
61.
about 61.
My
We're not even. You still haven't acknowledged.
I'm a 61 Chocobo now, dude. How are you gonna hate on
Do you
that?
even look at Tyler and I when
How are you not
when
gonna,
you do the pod? Do you look at us
Yeah.
when we do the show, or do you just look at yourself?
Yeah. Because I want you to know that I gave Chris a compliment the first time I noticed it when I was on Call of Them the other day. So that's just.
Chris, nice haircut, dude. I noticed it right away.
Oh, there it
I was
is.
muted.
There it is.
Wow, took you long enough, dude.
Dude, thank you for your service too.
What does that mean,
It's like a military cut. I like it.
John? It's a little different than a military cut.
Would
but
you
I-
call it
but I-
would you call it a low taper fade, maybe?
I think it's a high taper.
Is that a high
It's
taper?
a high taper. It's a high taper, bro. High taper crop.
Andre, it's not popping up, dude. I don't know what you want me to say. I'm refreshing everything. My notifications won't load on Twitch.
Hey, Chris, by the way, that Steph Curry bet last night would have been so good if he didn't hit 5 threes.
I told you, dude.
Dude, they won. You know that? The Thunder lost.
Ty, did you
I know.
did you
they came
tail
back. It's crazy.
did you tail my bet yesterday, Ty, in the stream? Plus 768?
Nope.
It
I
hit.
don't know what it was. Yeah, you never send them, so. You never send them.
All right,
But
it worked on my other
I
PC, so we're
I
sharing
did get
now.
a little. I think I had a little juice yesterday. I had a,
What's up,
a
Deb?
pretty big unit. What up, pops? I had a pretty big unit on Manchester United today. They ended up winning 2-0, which is great. They were minus 150. I was like proud of that.
I was telling my chat side there's a bunch of Arsenal fans in my stream every single day, and it's so funny
Joy.
because they're just like white Americans, and the second you start talking about the Premier League, you use all of their language, and it's so funny. We don't do it in anything else. They just drew even. They drew even. We're 2-0. 2-0.
Yeah.
Like we never say that, dude. Lions are up 7-0. The
I say that
Vikings
all the
drew
time.
even.
I never say drew even, but first off, there's never a tie. So
Yeah, I rarely say that. I always say, I guess I see what they're saying.
Yeah, you do it
I
too,
say-
Chris. You do it too.
I say nil. I always will. I know I'm Andre. We're not really talking.
Dude, get that guy off the pitch.
What did Andre say?
Oh, you just had him full screen. Still, I mean, I want to level. I want to do one last round of Magic.
All right, we can
real
start whenever
quick.
you want. You want to do an hour today, right?
Yeah, that'd be perfect. I'd like to keep this super chill.
Yeah, I don't want to.
I don't want to go crazy into analysis until next week on the game.
I'm not there yet, dude.
Yeah, I'm not even there yet either.
Gun to my
I'd
head
rather-
right now, I legit don't know who I like. Half of me is like you faded the Chiefs spread all year, which was good half the time. They didn't cover half the time, and don't bet against Mahomes. And the other half of me is like the Eagles are literally built to win this game with their defense
it's-
and their O line.
yeah,
so
it
I'm
is.
right in the middle.
Such a fun game because it's like top to bottom, pound for pound. Philly has a better roster, but Kansas City has a better quarterback and a better coach. Well, but I'll say coach is.
Yeah. Yeah. And can you believe that Spags is going to stay another year? That's insane to me, dude. We're just letting the Chiefs get away with it.
Does he even want to be a head coach?
I don't know. I would assume not, since I don't think he took an interview.
Let's go, dude.
Don't quote me on that, because I don't know if he did or not, but I don't think he did.
All right, we're going
to I don't think he did either.
Yeah, it's just crazy. And then you get like Bieniemy, right? Their OC forever, who did a great job. Obviously, Andy Reid always called those plays. I'm pretty sure he called the plays even when Bieniemy was there. But then he goes to college and goes to UCLA, and he's not even their head coach, dude. He's the OC at UCLA, and they turned it on at the end of last season. UCLA is going to be fun to watch next year. And I don't think he took any interviews either. He was like Ben Johnson, bro. Like, as far as getting in all the interviews a couple years ago, and now he's just UCLA chilling. All right, guys. Well, listen, if Ty wants to do the show for an hour tonight, and we're not going to dive super into the Super Bowl, because we are going to do a show next week, and that's when we'll do that, and that's when we'll make our official Super Bowl picks. I've been telling Chad all week long I'll make my pick on Thursday night. They're going to have to wait, because I really don't know yet. But we're going to talk about the games this past weekend and a bunch of other stuff. But let's go ahead and put up our banner.
Oh yeah, you already know I'm putting Saquon for 2 tutties, bro. That's a fact. I might put my house on that, dude.
Oh my God, Ty.
Obviously, don't do that.
While we've got the banner up, I love it. By the way, Ty, that would be massive, almost as massive as this offer by DraftKings right now, which is sponsoring the Blev Bros Sports Show. We're super honored to be partnered with them. Right now, new customers that bet $5 instantly get $200 in bonus bets. We have college basketball. We have NBA, NHL games are starting to matter like crazy. And, of course, the Super Bowl, where you can make a ton of different plays, heads or tails. I'm pretty sure you can go on the color of the Gatorade at the end of the game. We'll see. Bet responsibly. Use code Blevins. And, again, new customers bet $5, get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Thank you, DraftKings, for sponsoring the show.
Crown is yours, gentlemen and ladies.
It is. It is. All right. Let's start with the Eagles-Commanders game, dude, where the Eagles did to the Commanders what the Commanders did to the Lions the week before.
Yeah.
And what I thought the Lions could do,
luck,
especially if we had a healthy defense. Lions hangover continues. Commanders struggled. Jalen Hurts, in my opinion, boys, played the best game I've seen him play in his NFL career. Looked great. Clearly, we were asking each other last week, how's his knee? How healthy is he going to be? We're all weary of his rushing yards. And then he just literally looked better than he's looked all season. Did you guys enjoy the game? What are your thoughts?
I loved it. I thought it was an incredible game. It was a blast. Watching Saquon pop off and doing what he does. Watching the Eagles defense continue to do what they do. Obviously, there's a lot of people that don't like the Eagles because of their fan base, because of Nick Sirianni. I was one of those people. I still am kind of one of those people. Obviously, the Eagles fans, you've seen videos. They're, a few bad eggs doesn't, you make the whole batch rotten, but, it kind of does, I feel like, for Philly. But I'm happy for them. Happy for their city. I love Saquon a lot. Like, he's just a dog. He's incredible. One of the best to ever do it. Top, like easily top 3 running back, if not best running back in the league right now. And I just love how there's something about, like, that everyone's defense and everyone's game plan is going against Philly. They're like, all right, how do we contain Saquon? How do we stop this one guy? And like, there's something that is just making me want to just like go all in on Philly and all in on Saquon in the Super Bowl, simply just because they still can't stop him, right? Every game, it's like every big game that matters, they're like, what do we do? How are we going to stop this one guy? And they're planning for it, and then he still busts out 2 to 3 tutties, over 100 yards. Like, this guy's
he should have got 9 yards on the first play from scrimmage, and he housed it for 60 yards.
Exactly. So I'm all in on the Philly hype, simply just because of Saquon Barkley, but also like I really liked AJ Brown. I like how he's kind of like swallowing his ego, and they're all talking about this book, which is like the author is probably just rolling in dough right now because of how much they're talking about.
Yeah, the sales went crazy.
It's kind of weird that like the NFL casters are talking about this book, You know what I mean? Without like
His
like it's odd.
his story is so cool. The author of that book.
Sure, I'm sure it is, but I'm just saying, like, I mean, like they never, like the NFL doesn't do that, bro. Like that's free advertising, free publicity for something, like a product for someone that isn't, that they don't get a cut of. It's very odd. I'm surprised they've been allowed to do it. But again, it is cool. So shout out to AJ Brown for it's kind of just going a completely different route and honestly having an incredible game too.
He popped
against
off.
the Commanders. So it's awesome, man. I'm
Dude, he was hyper efficient. I think 4 of his 5 catches were first downs.
oh yeah.
Like he was really important in the game. There were plays I enjoyed, John. I did not enjoy watching the game, just because it was brutal, right?
Yeah.
It was a spanking.
I love me a good spanking, dude.
I think like
Pause.
one thing that really stood out to me was how Philly's defense was kind of known for not giving up big plays. And I don't think the Commanders got one. Like they didn't have a single electric play that broke like 20 yards. It didn't feel like. It felt like they kind of had to 5, 7, 4, 3-yard gain their way down the field, which is just super hard to do when, their offense can run the ball, how it can run the ball. And it was just such a mismatch. And so it makes me excited for this Kansas City game, because Kansas City doesn't rely on the home run play. Like,
Oh yeah,
like,
I know what you mean.
like if you're gonna take the top off of an offense and force them to do an 8-minute drive touchdown, Mahomes can do that.
Consistently.
Right, he can take what you're giving him. Dude, you saw the first 2 plays from scrimmage for the Chiefs were 1.2 second throws to Marquise Brown.
Yep.
Like Mahomes
Which is
didn't
what we
even.
wanted the game before that, but that's neither here nor
So, like, it's going to be such a fun matchup. I can't wait to dive into it more, and I think Kansas City's going to give them, a lot more of a game than the Redskins. I always say, this is the 3rd week I've said that. The
there.
Commanders.
Yeah, it's all
Hey,
right,
man,
dude.
it's their OG.
Chris,
They're going to bring that name back.
They probably are. Chris, I love that analysis, dude. Like the Commanders against us, right? It was big play after big play after home run after big play after 30 yards after 20 yards after touchdown after pick six, and then the casters so many times are talking about how they are scratching and clawing to get first downs, right? They are using all 4 downs every single time they get a first down on that first drive, and it wasn't just that first drive; it was the entire game, and that's not how they play. And I think that's very interesting. I think because you're absolutely right. The Chiefs, they do that. That's what they do no matter what. So,
Well, and what's crazy is that, like, the Chiefs finally, we're not even on the Chiefs game yet, but the Chiefs finally used Xavier Worthy the way that we all kind of thought they could all year. Just get Xavier Worthy the ball in crazy spots where he has space to run. It won't surprise me if they do have a couple of home run plays next week in the game. This tweet is the tweet that I enjoyed the most about the game, because I just was watching the Commanders. I put a chunk parlay on the 2 underdogs, Commanders and Bills. Obviously, they both lost. Definitely bet with my heart there and was cheering for both teams for that bet.
Yeah, dude. Can we all pour one out for Josh Allen, dude?
Dude,
Sorry.
we're going to get to that. But here's my favorite tweet about this game, because the whole time I watched the Eagles game, we had friends over, so I wasn't watching it like super close, but I saw most plays, and I saw this tweet after the game. Eagles go up 7-3, give Jane Daniels a chance to respond, offense fumbles. Eagles go up 20-12, give Jane Daniels a chance to respond, offense fumbles. Eagles are up 34-23. Give Jane Daniels a chance to make it 34-31 in a 1-score game. Fumble. Turnovers were the story. Just like this, turnovers were the story in the Lions game. You have to protect the football, and they couldn't do it. And I don't even know who fumbled.
John.
Eckler fumbled, right?
It doesn't. Listen, every single.
That was the one where he got up and got it punched out.
Yes, every single fumble was a punch out, dude. These were not players the ball slipping out.
Yeah, I'm not saying that Eagles didn't make the play. I'm just saying it was like, man,
protect the ball with 2 hands and have the tightest grip on it in the world, and if someone comes in and punches that ball out, it's coming out. So like, I hear you, but like where Jahmyr Gibbs fumbled the ball in the NFC Championship game against the Niners, and that was completely his fault, like that was a fumble.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
I'm not saying that the Eagles don't deserve credit for the fumbles. I'm just saying that Jaden Daniels played a pretty good game.
He did. He played a great game.
And unfortunately never really got to get it going because they had those turnovers. And then I'm pretty sure he threw a pick towards the end as well, as the game was kind of out of reach. But that was wild. That was wild. Eagles defense is legit. I can't wait to watch the Super Bowl. We're going to get to it. Let's go to the Bills Chiefs game. There was not a moment in that game until the final 2 minutes where I thought the Chiefs were going to win, and I'm serious. Like, even though they went up first or what second, I think it was 3-0 Bills maybe, and then they went up. And even then I was like, nah, Bills got this. And I was watching it at a bar with two people who watch the sports show, including Toxic Joel Ty, but who, by the way, I'm going to expose him right here, right now in front of everyone. Toxic Joel, Chris, he's annoyed you a couple times. He's a great dude. He made a bet on the Commanders to beat the Lions, but he hammered the Lions during that game while the Lions were down because he thought the Lions were going to win. So he's just trolling. He's always just trolling. He's a great dude. He thinks the Lions are a great team. Love that guy.
We should unban him in my chat, Andre.
You should unban him. But that whole game, I was like, the Bills got this. The Bills got this. They're playing just fine. Josh Allen plays perfect every time he plays the Chiefs, and it's just not enough. Chiefs come out and do it. Thoughts on that game, fellas?
I mean, it was Dalton, Kincaid, Josh Allen. Dude, it almost feels like there are. Have you guys seen The Flash? Like, you guys watched The Flash?
Yeah, I've seen like the first 4 or 5 seasons. Yeah.
All right. Have you seen one of like the time? What do they call it, Chris? Like time haunts, time phantoms. It's almost like there's an angel in the outfield, but it's like a demon, like for the Chiefs against the other team. Like Josh Allen did everything he could. That last play where he was 4th down and he's running around and they had this beautifully designed blitz, right, where it's almost impossible to stop. You can't get away with it a lot. And he just launches the ball up somehow, and Kincaid could have caught it, hit him in both arms, and he missed it.
Tough catch for sure, but he missed it.
How is it, dude? How is every Bills Chiefs game in the NFC Championship or the AFC Championship always come down to just these like it's dude, like could Josh Allen go down as one of the best quarterbacks in the entire like is it who else there's another he's a Hall of Famer, same thing. I don't think he won a Super Bowl. It wasn't Dan Marino, was it?
Are you talking about Manning? I mean, Manning always having to go. You know, Brady was always there, but he got his Super Bowl.
It was, dude. All I'm saying is like Josh Allen is easily. I mean, it's a shame, dude. This guy, his legacy, and this is so unfortunate, dude. Because if he was born in a different time, like 5 years before Mahomes, or maybe even a couple, like, dude, he could have had 3 rings, 4 rings, but he is alive and in the AFC and going against.
It reminds me the most of it. Like the best comparison for me is the Jazz when the Bulls had Michael Jordan. Like the Jazz in any other era win multiple NBA championships, and they just happen to go. Karl Malone and John Stockton just happen to go against Michael Jordan in that time and just can't get over the hump. Like it's crazy. Somebody in chat said the Bills lost 4 Super Bowls in a row, which was obviously heartbreaking for them. I can't even imagine that. Lions haven't even made a Super Bowl yet, and now Josh Allen has lost 4 times to Mahomes. Chris?
Yeah, bro. That's a curse.
So this game was as advertised. I was hooked from the first snap. But like when you've got to make plays on 4th and 4 and 4th and 5 and you don't get it done, I think it stings less than when you can't make plays from 4th and less than 1. And I was really surprised that they just wanted to keep QB sneaking it. I'm not saying it's not a high percentage play. I understand that the QB sneak is a high percentage play, but like, okay, so when the Chiefs needed it on 4th and short, Mahomes got to snap the ball. He got to roll out to his right and make a decision. He had the ball in his hands. He could throw it or he could keep it, and he kept it, and he ran for their first down. Do you guys remember that?
Yep.
Yeah.
And like,
he also made 2 great throws at the end of the game on critical downs as well, where he did the same.
Like, I don't understand. Like when you have Josh Allen, I don't care if it's 4th and short. Why not snap the ball? See what he can do. Like,
yep.
He is your Superman. Like, so why I don't know. But again, like that's just nitpicking. I I think obviously both teams had a chance to win that game. And dude, I just cannot stress how, like, I don't know if it's like side empathy. I don't know what it is, but when the Bills lose, I feel like I lost.
Yeah.
Like,
they're fun to cheer for.
Like, yeah, they're the only other team besides maybe the Bengals that gets me close to feeling as bad as the Lions when they lose.
Dude, it's a tragedy. It's a tragedy. And like, I will agree, man. Chris, there's your fourth and inches, third and inches. So many times you run the exact same play 8 times, and it wasn't even working a lot. Like, I think it failed almost more than it succeeded, right? Because they ran it back to back several times on third and inches, and it's like, I mean, dude, hear me out. If you're gonna beat Patrick Mahomes, and if you're gonna beat the Chiefs, it's like, it's just the same way the Commanders beat us, like in the sense of like the Commanders beat us, right? It's like 4th and 5, 4th and 4, go for it. Like, you have to have plays, and you got to make plays a lot. You got to make more plays than they do. And they had, in my opinion, I mean, dude, how many opportunities to do some sort of trick play, or not even trick play, but like a well-designed play where they only, 4th and inches. What if they took a shot downfield, right? Like, how are you going to beat the Chiefs? It's not going to be running the ball up the middle 8, 10, 12, 15 times for an inch that you barely got. Like that, dude, they struggled. They almost didn't get it every time they ran it. Like, and the fact that they didn't have some sort of creativity for something like that, when you have James Cook, who's been playing phenomenal in the postseason, and also just incredible towards the second half of the season. Like, and you also have, I mean, everyone was Ty Johnson, Ray Davis, like everyone was kind of cooking in that backfield, and like, to not involve any of them.
Cook had the best game of.
Yeah,
he did not get. Every single run he had was for a positive gain. He didn't get stuffed once against the Chiefs. It's insane.
Yeah, yep. I know that one of my biggest like advocates for why I think Josh Allen should have had MVP over Lamar Jackson was because Lamar had Derrick Henry, and Josh Allen had James Cook, and I think obviously Henry's better than Cook. Dude, I think that Cook is like, clearly, I mean, he's just a specimen. When he's healthy, he's playing out of his mind. So Flowers to him, he had a lights out game. Damn, dude.
Dude, we got to talk about the refs here, because there's a lot of people in chat talking about it. I think they were kind of bad for both sides in that game. There's a bunch of missed calls on both sides, obviously because the Chiefs won and because of where some of those missed calls or wrong calls happen, or no calls, right? You think about it, kind of looked a little bit like, I think it was Kincaid who had the first down on that third down. Then it's 4th. It kind of looks like Josh Allen has it, but there's no good angle. There's no good angle where you can see the ball and you can see the line. But obviously, people are going to talk about that. The Travis Kelce no call in the end zone where he's literally taunting right in front of a referee. I mean, the ref is looking at him taunting. And I actually think taunting should be allowed. I think it's awesome, but it's not. Miss that. Just a bunch that seemed to go the way of the Chiefs towards the end of that game, and some that went the way of the Bills earlier in the game for sure. I'm not blaming that game on the refs. I understand Bills fans who are hurt who are. What are your guys' thoughts in general about that?
I think ultimately, and I'm not even going to say this about taunting because that's such a judgment call. You know what I mean? It's like how the ref is feeling that day with taunting. But almost every single personal foul needs to be booth reviewable. And I'm not even talking about like college basketball where they hold up the game for
2 minutes takes 30. Yeah.
Right. I'm talking about just 10-second replay. Did he get his face mask? Let's go. 10-second replay. Did he actually hit the quarterback in the head? Let's go. Right. So that's what I'm talking about when I talk about replay review. And I just think it has to be initiated at this point to help the refs, if not to shut people up. Like, if anything else, like.
Yeah, I hear you, bro.
Like, oh, his pinky turned his head around. Ref missed it. 15-yard penalty. Let's go. And then we're back in the game and it's fast.
Yeah, I agree, man. I think at this point it's like, do they want us to be talking about this? Like, is this a strategy? Is this a social media, like they want people to talk about the refs, like just enough, right? They don't want people to lose their absolute minds, or maybe they start boycotting. But like, right. It's enough, because like, what are people going to complain about when the refs are actually able to review and they become a lot more consistent, right? Like, I mean, at the end of the day, I think no matter what, people are going to like. There's still, even with the review, there's going to be situations where people are still probably going to complain about refs. But I think for as fans, we want to see the most fair competition. So I mean, Chris, I'm on board. I've been talking about that. I mean, I don't know if you guys remember, I've been asking for reviewable penalties and especially pass interference for like years. And then they brought it back 1 year, or they brought it in 1 year, and then they never successfully overturned one, right? To make a statement. Like, we don't care. Like, here, we gave it to you, not going to overturn one all year, and now it's out. So, like, I don't know, man. It's almost like I just don't think they care.
It's hard. I will say, Ty, that I have on very good authority that the commissioner does care, that he does not want refs to ever be the topic of conversation after a game, even though if the NFL is being talked about, you could argue that there's no such thing as bad news. They have made changes, right? Look at some of the changes they made. Now there are some reviewable calls. There's the replay assistant that you hear about, the VR assistant, whatever they call it, where they're like
replay assist.
That like that, and it feels like that wasn't in every game. It feels like it was only in primetime games or only in some. Right, it really doesn't. Weird. Yeah, I don't think I ever saw it in a noon Lions game. So I think they're trying, but it's not enough. They have to fix it in some way. You can't review every single play. You can't challenge people saying challenge a flag. The game, like Chris said, is going to go 4 hours long. But you absolutely can have a crew that's always in New York that is looking at everything and making sure that a flag is not going to ruin a game. I think it's as simple as that. Like, I don't need every single PI to make sure it's perfect. But if it has a massive impact on the game, if it's 3rd down and 15 with 3 minutes to go and you're down 8, you have to look at it. They have to figure that out. We don't get paid. We don't get paid to figure it out. Someone else needs to. I promise you, Goodell does not want people talking about the refs after every game.
Yeah, and I think you make a great point, John. Like crucial downs, like a holding call on a defense on 3rd and 15 is game changing.
Yeah, Chris, I don't think that defensive holding should be an automatic first down. I think it should just be a 5 yard penalty.
That's 5 yards and an automatic first down. It's game changing. So you're right. Like those game changing penalties that give life into a team. Absolutely, those should be just quick. Did it happen? Did it not? Yeah.
Yeah. Jeremy brings up a good point, by the way. Proud of Detroit says they didn't overturn any PIs because it's completely subjective and a review has to be 100% certain. So that's why they did that. Because you hear it every game, right? It's like one announcer's like, "Oh, that's as clear as day PI," and the other one's like, "I don't know, Jim." And so it's subjective. You never really know.
Right.
So you do have to have
the quarterback's like that was PI, and the defensive back in the booth is like.
Yeah, exactly. So but there's got to be something. There's got to be something they can do, because my least favorite part of the end of that game, which Chris, like you said, was a crazy good game. I mean, it had everything you wanted. Josh Allen maybe had a little slow start. He got it going. Mahomes played really well. I mean, the Chiefs just keep getting better in the playoffs. Every week they look better. And it was fun. And now everyone's talking about the refs after because it's the Chiefs and they're always there.
I watched that whole game, dude. And like the Bills played bad. Like at the end of the day, they could have played 1,000 times better, right? Josh Allen could have played. He was lost the first couple of drives. He was seeing ghosts. He was making terrible throws, right? Like if they started out calmer and if they got more creative on those short yard downs, I think that they would have dominated. But
they had a chance. They had a chance to win. They had the ball with 2 minutes left and a chance to win.
They had several chances,
and they
to
didn't.
Win. Right, and I don't think that there was ever like there weren't touchdowns taken away. There, you know what I mean? Like that. There were no turnovers. Right, I don't think there was a single turnover at all. Correct me if I'm wrong. Like that game was as cut and dry as possible without like a couple of the calls for sure. But I mean, bro, I've seen worse. We've seen way worse.
The Chiefs lost a fumble.
Did they?
Yeah, but that was only one turnover.
Yeah,
I mean, but Ty, I hear you, and I think that's a fair take. But the Bills, 374 yards, Chiefs, 368, 227 passing for the Bills, 233 for the Chiefs, 147 rushing for the Bills, 135 for the Chiefs, yards per play, 5.5, 5.8. I mean, it's a pretty up and down game, and the Bills had the ball for 30 seconds, a minute full longer. That's it. 6 penalties called on the Bills, 5 on the Chiefs. I mean, that's about as even of a game that you can have.
And it felt like it the entire time I was watching. I literally thought like it was last person to touch the ball could win. Like that was the vibe I was getting the entire time I was watching that game. I loved it. I thought it was an incredible game.
And by the way, fourth down efficiency, Ty, 4 of 6 were the Bills. They went for it on 4th down 6 times, got it 4. Bills were 1 for 1. Chiefs were 1 for 1.
Yeah, I mean, there's
Yeah, that was
there's
that
an
rollout.
issue.
That was that rollout from Patty. Patty
Yeah,
Mahomes.
there's an issue when you're getting on. It's almost like, dude, the offense wasn't creative enough for me for the Bills, which is weird because you have, again, with Josh Allen, and again, those three impressive backs with, consistent Dalton Kincaid and Khalil Shakir. Like, you guys have moves, right? You guys have weapons. There was just no creativity whatsoever. And I'm not talking about Ben Johnson creativity. I'm
Some of
talking
it was just
about,
missed. Some of it was just missed opportunity, like that low pass from Allen across the middle on that literal short crossing route that would have been a 30-yard gain for the
oh,
Bills.
yeah.
Like, there are just these little plays, and it didn't even have to be creative. They're just these little plays that
100%.
they didn't make.
I agree. Yeah. Again, like I said, I wasn't saying like we need Ben Johnson creativity where it's like a reverse. But like you have, John, you just said it. They went 4 for 6 on 4th downs, 4 for 6. That was 6 chances they could have done a fake handoff shot, right? Or a like fake handoff, like 6 opportunities to take it to the house when the Chiefs are expecting them to run it up the middle, which is what they did several times, even on 3rd and inches. So like, I don't know, man. Like you gotta again, you can't just play by the book and beat the Chiefs. Who like show me, like it's tough. It's almost impossible.
Yeah. And huge credit to Andy, the Chiefs coaching staff, Andy Reid, unbelievable play calls at the end of that game. Unreal, dude.
The blitz that Spags
blitz
on
at
the last play of the game.
Corner blitz. It's an unbelievable blitz and risky, dude. And risky. Like if Josh Allen, there was a play, and that might have been the play, Chris. Maybe not, but this was the one where Josh Allen threw it over a guy's head. That play, he has a guy open to the house. The safety pulls over to the middle, and I forget who was running the route, if it was Coleman or Shakir or whoever. Wide open touchdown, and Allen missed him. But Spags called up unbelievable defensive plays for the Chiefs, and they're at it again, dude. Chance for a three-peat. Chance for a three-peat, fellas.
No shot.
We'll see. No shot, Ty says. Ty's going to bet against Mahomes. Man, you're like making me bet the Chiefs now by saying that.
I'm gonna bet. I'm not gonna lie to you, dude. I'm gonna put it all on the Eagles, man. I'll probably put like I don't have a lot in my account because I've just been I've been being very smart. Believe it or not, I've been being smart. Actually, I have a decent amount compared to what. Anyways, I'm gonna
put it all. You see, it flashes to Ty's account. Says $12.
$12. I'll probably put like 500 on the Eagles money line, and then I'll probably put a lot of my like Saquon. I'll put a couple units on Saquon, 2 touchdowns. Like I'm not gonna take his yards just because he didn't hit his yards against like last week because they took him out because they were dominating so hard, which is like I don't know. But
yeah, that was frustrating.
Yeah, no, I'm excited, man. I have to go Eagles.
It'll be fun. We'll do our early Super Bowl thoughts here in just a little bit, but we're not making our official picks except for Ty there right now. Guys, we have to talk a little Lions here. We are Lions fans.
Yeah.
Lions hire 2 new coordinators, a couple of coaches poached, a couple staying, some big ones staying as well. They hire John Morton, the Broncos passing coordinator, who did a great job with Bo Nix, and Sutton was a great weapon, but some really young, unproven receivers in Denver. And was also coaching the Jets offense when they had one of the worst rosters in the NFL. And that Jets offense did really well. He'll be the offensive coordinator. Who knows if he's calling plays or if Dan Campbell will. We'll see. And then Kelvin Shepard, the linebacker coach for the Lions, who I believe it was either Hard Knocks or it was around then when he was like, who's giving a dude with like dreadlocks and tattoos a coaching job? And Dan Campbell's like, you be you, man. I want you to be you. You keep it all. Let's go. He's our new defensive coordinator to replace Aaron Glenn. What are your thoughts on the Lions coordinator moves? And does losing Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn worry you guys at all?
Of course, dude. Of course it sucks to lose 2 really talented people. But Philly gives me hope. Right? Their defensive coordinator. No, their offensive coordinator goes to the Colts. Their defensive coordinator goes to the Cardinals, right? That's what happened?
I think so, yeah.
You're asking the wrong guy here.
To Philly. From Philly. They get 2 new hires. It doesn't really work out, but they've righted the ship within 2 years, right? And you look at us losing just so much talent in Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson, but now you've got John Morton, who has a history with the Lions. I believe just in 2022, he was on our offensive staff. He knows this personnel. He knows our offensive staff. He knows what Goff likes. And think about it. For Campbell to not hire within, he's got to have some confidence in him. So I think Morton is going to be calling plays. I'd be really surprised if he isn't. And then Jeremy brought up a really good point on Twitter. He was like, I'm pretty sure it was Jeremy. He mentioned that I think the second most play action behind Goff was Bo Nix.
Yep.
From the Broncos passing coordinator. So there's going to be some familiarity there with the offense and with the personnel. And then Shepard, dude, he has learned from some absolute legends in the defensive community, not including Aaron Glenn. Like Aaron Glenn, like obviously, but he comes from like he played under Spags, right? Yep. And apparently every single coach that he's ever played for said he was going to be a coach one day, including when Campbell was an interim coach at Miami. And so I have full faith that he's going to be able to use our guys, again, to the best of their ability. So, yeah, I'm excited, but obviously, going to miss Glenn and Johnson.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be worried. Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn, they were great. Our guys obviously loved them, looked up to them, respected them. But, I mean, I'm confident, right? They came from Dan. Dan promoted those guys to their positions. We have to trust him. We have to believe. He built up some amazing coordinators before. We got to trust him that he'll do it again. And I loved what they were doing in Denver, right? I think their offense was phenomenal this year. And to take a bunch of young guys like Vell and like who, right? Is like Devon Vale and Marvin Mims, right? Like these guys, and then like their three running backs who were all getting just so many touches. There was a game where they got like 4 different running backs had touchdowns. So I like that. I like the creativity, and we have
right.
even I think we have more talented weapons here too, right? In Detroit,
right? Like think about transferring, like because well, he did that with Mims. What can he do with JMO?
Exactly, dude. Right. Like 100%. So I'm confident there. And again, our defense, dude, we just needed to stay healthy.
Yep.
Right. So I do think that we're going to be good.
Look what Kelvin Shepard did with our linebackers, dude. Anzalone is a star linebacker now. He wasn't. I forget what team Anzalone was on before, but he was not anywhere near who he is now. And Derek,
New Orleans.
Was it the Saints?
Yeah, he's a leader.
Yeah, he came from the Saints.
And then you've got, exactly. And then you've got Derek Barnes, who played really, really well for us. We might lose him to the Jets. We'll see. That's kind of the rumor. And then Rodrigo, drafted Rodrigo kind of late in the draft, and he's been playing really well, getting better every year. So, yeah, he was on the Saints. Okay. That's huge. So I'm excited about it. We'll see how it goes. And Dan Campbell's not afraid to move on if he needs to. He's already shown us that. Before he hired
Colton
Ben Johnson, he fired an OC.
Colton Pouncey had an interesting thing to say about him, like why everyone thought he was going to be a coach. So when Shepard was a player, apparently, John, he was super cerebral. Like he wasn't the most athletic player. And so he just had to know every technique. He had to be the smartest player on the field to get playing time. And like those kinds of players make great coaches, right? Because he knows, like think about what you can do with someone who's actually more athletic than you were.
Right. So you're the brains of the brawn, right? You're the brains, and you're Ratatouille, bro. You're in their helmet, telling them what to do and giving them all this creativity behind it. So yeah, that's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. So I'm excited.
All right, what do you guys think about the Dallas Cowboys, dude? They move on from Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy today withdrew his name from the Saints interview process, and so it looks like he's taking the year off. And then they hire Mike McCarthy was the offensive guy. They hire Brian Schottenheimer, who was their offensive coordinator, to be the head coach. They bring Eberflus in. I actually kind of like bringing Eberflus in as a DC. But dude, I've never seen so many Cowboy fans. I think every Cowboy fan I know is annoyed with Jerry Jones. Every one of them is like, we know. They all get it. It's not a surprise. There's not a lot of people defending him. But I've never seen so many Cowboy fans talk about jumping ship or talk about not buying jerseys or not going to games than I've seen on Twitter and in my chat over the last week. And I've seen some analysts saying they don't hate the hire and that Schottenheimer's respected around the league. I don't know a ton about him, but just in general, guys, thoughts on the Cowboys and what they're doing here.
Here's my issue. Okay. First off, Schottenheimer didn't even call plays. McCarthy did.
Right.
All right. My problem was if he ends up being the best coach ever and makes Jerry Jones look so smart, that's not the point. The point is that the process, Jerry Jones is so unserious. He's so unserious. He's so unserious.
It's not all smiles and glory holes, Chris. It's not all smiles and glory holes.
John, before the season, like guys, like
Is that
how
what
are
he said?
you?
Yes.
Dude, I cannot. He frustrates me so much. Before the season, we're all in. This Dallas Cowboys team is all in. What does he get in free agency? Zeke.
Yeah, dude.
Hey, they're all in. Like, dude, you are a liar. And like I've never seen a more incompetent GM. Like Jerry Jones is the cancer that the Dallas Cowboys need to excise to ever be taken seriously again.
I agree. I think, dude, at some point it becomes, it's I mean, it is a business in a sense, right? But, you want to be winning, want to win bowls. And John, it's interesting that you say that because, I mean, dude, I have never heard him even jokingly say that he's going to jump ship or he's going to root for another team. He's like close to going Bills, right? Like he mentioned that his wife, Alexis, already has multiple Bills jerseys that she bought this year. Not even joking.
Wow.
It's her team. She's like said it's her team. He's Tim's ready. I mean, Dennis Cloakesy, he's ready. Like, he's talked about it. He joked about it all year this year because they were just so bad. Even when Dak was in, right? They weren't playing well. Their wins weren't good wins. Like, yeah, man. I think that if they, I truly like. What's the word I'm looking for? Like, Jared thinks he can't lose. And, like, you can only have that thought process for so long until, like, dude, it is inevitable. You can be America's team. But, bro, I don't know what it is. The world is waking up. A lot of people are waking up. I'm talking about, like in the news and politics. Like, in general, a lot of people right now are sniffing out frauds and sniffing out and just not being fans of things of people that are.
Can I get your takes on something, guys?
Yeah.
Are you going to ask me why the Cowboys dumped their head coaching news on Friday night at 7 p.m. to get lost in the cycle, or something else, Chris?
No, I was going to ask you guys. So, because we're getting some feedback in the chat. Like, I've seen some fair weather fan chat. Do you think it's a fair weather fan if ownership clearly isn't taking it seriously, and you just take a vacation to root for a fun franchise until they fix it? Like, it's not like you're abandoning your team. But do you guys feel like it's okay to do that?
I mean, bro, that's a good question, Chris. But I'll put another question. Like, what is enough to root for another team, right? Like, how for Lions fans, how many times did we have to retire some of the best players in the game because we wouldn't trade them or we weren't good enough? Like, before we're like, okay, we're done, right? How many Super Bowls do we never have to get to before we're like, okay, we're done, right? And it's not just because players it's because of GM. No, I'm saying ownership and GM, right? The people at the top are making the terrible decisions or hiring terrible coaches. It's not the players. It's the whole thing. It's like, when can someone be like, yeah, dude, why are you even a fan of them anymore? Like, you can swap. So it's all garbage.
Couldn't you argue part of the resiliency and the reason we stayed Lions fans was because we were young? I don't feel I don't feel like I totally understood
why we sucked,
why we were so bad. Because I was always just like,
I agree with Jeremy, by the way. I like that.
Like, when you look back on it, it's like we were in an abusive relationship. We
were too like mentally naive, right, and immature to understand that we were constantly getting over. Right.
It's like, oh wait, maybe the people that own the team aren't taking it as seriously as we are.
Right. As the fans that have absolutely no say, by the way. You know what I mean? So I completely agree. I think that as you get older, you're absolutely right. You're more mature. You're more intelligent. You understand why a team is not doing well. It's not like their players are choking. It's not like their players just aren't playing well and they aren't meshing. It's like, dude, it starts at the top. It trickles down, and proper decisions need to be made. Otherwise, the franchise is going to struggle. And it's like, and it's difficult for those changes to be made too, because those people have power. They're in power. The owners have power. The GMs, if their owners are shitty, have power, right? And if and they're not keen to give it up, no one is. It's like, how do you get an owner to sell? And this is actually a question: how do you get an owner to sell? If an owner, hear me
The
out. If an
only
owner
way to do it is to stop making them money. It's the only way to do it.
right?
Oh, it's
as
it's a
fans.
scandal. You got to
I'm
find a
saying,
scandal, like with Dan Snyder. Find
I'm
a scandal.
Like, if Jerry doesn't want to sell, before he dies, is there any way for him to not be the owner of the Dallas Cowboys? The answer is no, right? Like,
Yeah, no.
exactly. So like, that's what I'm saying. This isn't like no one can vote him out, right? So like, I think that, dude, people have absolutely the right to become fans of different teams. Don't swap and pick the number one team in the NFL, right? Don't full bandwagon. But heck, even if that's the team that you like, not just because they're winning, because you like people on their team. I don't know.
My take on it's a little different because I was diehard Lions my whole life, and so I very much knew why we were losing and why we were bad, and was annoyed at the lack of changes made. But the difference between the Cowboys and the Lions and even like the Bulls and the White Sox, minus the Michael Jordan years for the Bulls and the one White Sox World Series in my lifetime with Jerry Reinsdorf, the owner of those teams, is they're not like the Lions. The Fords before Sheila were just incompetent. They were incompetent. They were a Carr family that made a lot of money, that loved the city of Detroit, that wanted the Lions to be good, but they didn't know how. They just didn't. They hired the wrong people. They hired friends. They didn't fire fast enough. They hung on to him too long, and they just were incompetent. If they were incompetent and arrogant, like Jerry Jones, and they demanded to like be the GM, I do think I would have probably not stuck it out, to be honest. I really do. I stuck out through 0-16, and Ty, you and I went to the game that the Lions lost their 16th game that season in Green Bay.
Hell of a game.
We almost won. I mean, that game was kind of close till the end.
Was that the one? Yeah, I remember.
It's different. To me, it's different. There's a difference between just incompetence, which is a lot of ownership in a lot of different teams, and incompetence and arrogance and refusal to see what's going on. You see that with the Bears right now. The McCaskies are great people. They're great people, dude. I like legit. I'm friends with a lot of people who are close with them. Virginia McCaskey goes to church every single day at a local little church down the road. I mean, they're amazing family. They do so much for charity. They're incompetent when it comes to football, and eventually the Bears are going to sell, and it'll be different. But Jerry Jones is both arrogant and incompetent, and for me, that's where I understand Cowboy fans being like, until he's gone, I'm done. I get it.
Yeah.
So Chris, for you to answer your question, I wouldn't blame a Cowboy fan for leaving. I wouldn't blame a Bulls fan or a White Sox fan for leaving either.
Okay, I like that take. I like that take with the
Same.
the arrogance mixed with incompetence.
Yeah, all he has to do is literally just stopping the GM, dude. Just get your hands out of the pot. You can still own the team. Just hire a competent GM and back up. But he won't do it.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
we shall see. The Cowboys may continue to be the Cowboys, or Schottenheimer could turn it all around.
Unlikely.
We're going to actually ignore the Super Bowl thing real quick. Actually, let's put up our banners here. Chris, you're up.
Yeah.
And then we're going to kind of get into a fun question for next year that I want a lot of chat's opinion on.
Hey, so huge shout out, guys, if you don't know already. The Blev Bros Sports Show is brought to you by our partners over at DraftKings. The crown is yours. All right. The Super Bowl is coming up in about a week and a half now. The game of the year. And DraftKings has a new deal. All right. New customers enter the code Blevins in when you download the app. Who wager $5 get $200. All right, $200 in bonus bets, win or lose that initial $5 wager that you guys made. It's an awesome deal. We're going to make a really fun Super Bowl parlay coming up here at the end of the show. I'm really excited. A lot of March Madness is coming up. I'm itching. I'm itching. So huge shout out to DraftKings. Thank you guys for sponsoring the show.
All right, we're going to skip our early Super Bowl thoughts because basically the entire sports show next week is going to be a Super Bowl show. We'll have some fun. I have some fun segment ideas.
Dude. Oh my God.
It's gonna be a blast. We'll share some real bets that we're actually like that we can have insight on, because my Super Bowl bet that we share later, Chris, is gonna be super dumb, and I can't wait.
I know. I'm excited too. Dumb bets can be fun.
Yeah, it'll be fun. But let's talk a little fantasy football, dude. Season's almost over. One game left. I want you guys to rank for me your top 5 in order. So assume that your top 5, there's 5 people, who you would take at number 1 if you had 1, who you would take at number 2 if your number 1 was taken at 1, all the way down through 5. Way too early fantasy football top 5 mock draft. Who wants to go first?
Too early.
Okay. So, people in the Bengals organization are already saying they might not pay Trey Hendrickson, who is their best defensive player. He's their best edge rusher. And the quote, I believe, was, "You can't pay everyone top money." Okay? But there are some guys you don't let leave. Like, give me Jamar Chase in that offense. I don't see how I don't take Jamar Chase with the number 1 overall pick. And then my number 2 pick gets a little like, do I want to start dipping into running back? I do think the number 1 running back in the NFL has to be Saquon Barkley next year. So I probably go Saquon at 2. And then so Jamar Chase, Saquon Barkley. 3, I know he had a little bit of a down year with injury and his quarterback got injured, but dude, I love CeeDee Lamb. I think that Dak is due for some positive regression next year when he comes back, just because he had a lot of negative regression from the year before this year. Just his touchdowns went down a lot. So I do like CeeDee Lamb still at 3. 4, I'm going to dip my toe back into running back. And guys, how fun was Bijan this year?
Bijan was a lot of questionable fun.
Not as fun as Gibbs.
Not as fun
So
as Gibbs.
I think I'm going Bijan at 4 just because of the volume. Again, when Monty comes back, right? Gibbs was almost always a top 12 running back in fantasy, but man, Gibbs was different when Monty went out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was a different level. And I know some analysts have Gibbs in the top 5 next year. I am not one of them. So give me Bijan at 4. And then I'm going to go back to receiver. I'm going to go, I don't care who's giving him the ball.
Justin Jefferson.
No, you know what?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think
Rebound
Jefferson
year. I'm going to do something a little crazy. I'm switching it. I'm going to go Nico Collins.
Nico Collins over Malik Neighbors, over Puka Nacua, over Amon-Ra St. Brown, over Justin Jefferson.
wild.
That's
Yeah,
a bold
I'm gonna make a
take,
bold
brother.
pick. I'm making a bold claim. I think Stroud has a better season next year, and therefore so does Nico.
John just listed a potential top 5 right there with those guys. I'm gonna go.
Stafford might not be a Ram next year.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, dude. You know what? You're right, CB.
Stafford might not be a Ram. You're taking Puka in the top 5.
Yeah, no, you're right.
I'm just
Without
saying,
Stafford?
maybe.
I was thinking of the
I'll
second
share my
you
top
sent that
5
text,
soon.
I was like Puka for sure. Mine's gonna look nothing like Chris's, and this is why I lose every year in fantasy. But I like
Let's
Saquon
go.
at 1. Dude, I love Jamar. I was gonna say Jamar Chase at 2. I'm just gonna go quick, honestly. I like Gibbs at 3.
Ooh,
And
look
this
at
one,
you.
I do. I gotta go. And then Chris, this one you missed. Personally, this is gonna be I don't know, I'm telling you guys, which sucks, but maybe everyone listening right now, this could be your little what's it called? Your little sleeper pick, dude. Give me Scary Terry, top 4, bro. Top 4, top 5. Terry McLaurin, dude, could have an absolute monstrous year. Year 2, Jaden Daniels. I mean, Terry's his number 1. I don't know, dude. I don't know.
Terry on the ESPN pre-rankings by Mike Clay, Terry is ranked 30 right now.
I'm just saying, dude. Scary. I mean, like, again, I'm saying like a little dark horse. I don't know, dude. He got so many touchdowns this year, and another year, chemistry's there. He was his go-to guy when he needed touchdowns in the red zone. I like it. I like Scary Terry. That's all I said. I was gonna put him in there, and then I mean, I like Puka, but if Stafford's, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say Puka Nacua at 5 if Stafford's still there throwing to him, because it's disgusting. How much he neglects everyone else other than him.
He has
when
to be
he's
top 6 if Stafford's back. He has to be top 6.
Right. And I will say, here's another little nugget I'll toss in there. Like, Trey McBride for your tight end. There's absolutely no way that he does not see an increase in touchdowns next year. I mean,
How many? Think where I saw him. I saw him in like the 20s or 30s, I think. So yeah, people are taking him like, and again, it's way early. Everyone, we realize
for
this.
Sure. Yeah, we understand, right? But
people are thinking
round two,
late round 2, round 3 for McBride. So, all right, John, what do you got?
All right, dude. I'm not going to do this. I'm going to give my top 5, but I want to say that if the draft was tomorrow and I had the number 1 overall pick, I would have a hard time not taking Gibbs. Like, I really would.
Really?
I do think that they, as Jeremy said, I do think that they're going to go back to splitting carries, and I think they should. A healthier Monty and a healthier Gibbs in the postseason is huge. But what he did this year, like, including the game they lost to the Commanders, the game against the Vikings, I mean, dude was just unstoppable. Every time he ran the ball, he's running better. Obviously, if he gets in the open field on a pass, he can do great. So I love him in a PPR, but that's just my homer there. I do think he's top 5. I'm not going to put him at 1. I'll go Jamar Chase 1. I'm going to go Justin Jefferson 2. And that is with the caveat that he's not a rookie, I guess, anymore, but that's J.J. McCarthy starting for that team next year, or Aaron Rodgers. And by the way, do not pretend that there's not a chance Aaron Rodgers doesn't go there for 1 year and follow in Brett Favre's footsteps and mentor the young kid J.J. McCarthy. But as long as it's not Daniel Jones throwing the ball to Justin Jefferson, I like Justin Jefferson at 2. I think he's going to have a big year. He was very boom or bust this year, but I like him at 2. I actually like Saquon at 3, Gibbs at 4, and then I'll go Bijan Robinson at 5. And that's true to who I am, dude. That's 3 running backs in the top 5, 2 receivers before them because that's kind of the new meta. But it is, I will say, like, my kind of sleeper pick for next year, 2 guys that I really like if I can get kind of early-ish, or a little, I guess I shouldn't say early, but you know what I mean? Like if they fall to me, Jonathan Taylor and Josh Jacobs. I'm going to be all over both those dudes next year. Pause. The pause was about the puppy because there's a puppy on the screen.
Yeah, for sure. Well, not anymore. Navi's.
Who are you petting then?
Dude, nah, it's Navi. She's just underneath me.
Yeah,
dude,
Jacobs.
I like Josh Jacobs. I don't want.
He was a touchdown machine after week 9.
For sure. Get everyone off the Packers. I'm not going to draft a single person on the Packers. I'm not even joking.
I'm not drafting a single receiver off that.
Not a receiver. No, I would take a tight end late. I would take one of their tight ends late.
Nope, never, dude. I will not. No, not again. I will not be scorned by the Packers offense again. Who are they? What are they doing? Who's going to catch the balls? You don't know. And it's not because they have an incredible game plan. It's because they don't know. Like, I literally feel like their offense is like, okay, we're going to run it with Josh Jacobs. And that was only the second half of the season. No, because they were running it with him a lot earlier, but he started scoring in the second half. They don't know what they're doing. It's like the Chiefs are like, dude, this is it, man. We're going to hit Gray today, man. Noah Gray, 7 receptions, right? Oh, Marquise Brown, first 3 catches, first 3 passes, right? Like, they have game plans. They know their bag is deep of who's going to get the ball and who's going to be getting the reps. But I think the Packers offense is the exact opposite. They're like, see who gets open. Like,
yeah, Watson's probably going to be hurt in the beginning of the year next year too. So
yeah, I don't know, man.
Not like probably because he's going to get hurt, but he is hurt and he's probably not going to be fully recovered by the time that the season starts. All right, that was fun. I can't wait to talk more fantasy next year and in the offseason, especially after the draft happens. We'll do some mock fun stuff, top 5 minimum at least. I know Ty's not going to want to dive into the full first round mock draft, but we'll have some fun with the sports show on there for that. Guys, the NBA commissioner comes out and says he thinks that what would help with attendance and maybe even potentially players sitting out is moving from 12-minute quarters to 10-minute quarters. Also, I guess one of the reasons is that they want to be uniform with the rest of the world that does 4 10-minute quarters. Thoughts? Do you think it would help the NBA?
I'm willing to try anything, man. I know that I don't know, man. I love NBA games. To me, it's about maybe like less games, right? I mean, there's no kind. It's one of those things where when there's so many, it's like baseball. You can't have too many games, right? No one watches them all. No one cares. But they made them go by quicker, which is nice, right? They started adding rules, right? The box clock, whatever, I forget what it's called. so you actually have to throw the strike, et cetera, whatever. I love that. I actually watch a lot. I watch the most baseball I've ever watched. I'll do like when you have two good teams playing against one another, bro. I want as much of that as possible. I don't want 10 minutes. I want the full 12, but I just want them trying. And that just seems to be the issue with a lot of NBA games. There's also a lot of people say that they shoot too many threes. There's so many things. I mean, I'm down to try anything. 10 minutes, sure. Let's see what happens.
Chris?
I think it's a bad step for the NBA to take. Like, if you have a good product, you don't want less of it.
Exactly. I agree with that. Yeah.
Ever. If you have a good product, you want more of it. So I think the problem is right now the NBA doesn't have a great product because you hear these stories of Timmy waiting his whole life to see the Nuggets and Jokic is sitting that game, or Jenna waiting her whole life to see the 76ers and Embiid is taking a break. And ultimately it comes down to these players, if they're healthy, and I mean that. If these players are healthy, they need to play. That's just what it comes down to. And I don't know, if you think that 8 minutes a game is going to change that, are you crazy? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I think one thing that we're seeing, and someone in chat mentioned this earlier today too, and I completely agree. One thing we're seeing is that you've got a lot, like the players in the NBA are playing older than ever, right? Some of the stars are staying in the league, and sometimes they can turn their defense on when they want to in the playoffs, but a lot of times they don't. And then you have these really good young teams who are playing great defense, like the Thunder. Right? And there's these young guys who have the energy and they want to be out there every game and they don't want to take breaks and they want to play good defense. And those games are the most fun to watch right now. And now some new stars are kind of emerging. And so I think that is part of it. I'm with you, Ty. I think they should just shorten the season. I think they should shorten baseball a little bit, shorten hockey a little bit, shorten basketball a little bit. Not a ton. I'm talking like 20 games, 15 games for basketball, 15 games for the NHL, and 60 games for baseball. Like, make it shorter and let the players play. No sitting out unless you're hurt, like Chris said, and make it entertaining. Yeah. But I'm having fun personally watching the NBA. One of the other big issues is a lot of the blackouts. If I was a Bulls fan, there's almost no way for me to watch the Bulls unless I pay an extra $20 or $30 a month. Chris and I are already paying for NBA and NHL pass.
Same.
And so, but I can't watch the Bulls because I don't have, even though I have the local YouTube, all the channels on my local YouTube, I can watch the Chicago News every night. Can't watch the Bulls. If I had an antenna that worked, maybe I could watch them. And I'm not paying $25 a month to watch the Bulls. But the fact that I can't watch the Bulls and the Blackhawks in Chicago is crazy, especially if you look at a city like Chicago, New York, LA, where almost half the people in the city are transplants. They're not even from there. So they're not going to pay $25 to watch the game. They don't care. And so I think that's a huge issue too. And in baseball, like, a lot of people are having a hard time watching their favorite team, and you used to be able to just turn the TV on if you live there and watch it. Yep. So I think there's a lot to fix. I don't think the 10-minute thing is going to do it. I don't think that making it a 4-pointer or whatever, or taking away the three, I don't think that's going to fix it.
Take away the corner threes and move back the 3-point line. I don't hate that at all.
I got a better one. Ray Allen and Reggie Miller their careers, brother. I mean, where would they be?
All breathtaking dunks are 4 points.
I love that, bro.
That's so subjective, right?
Was that a breathtaking dunk? Let's check the audience.
Get it?
4 points.
Give him a 4-pointer. He deserves it.
Dude,
Wemby just take Wemby's over every game.
Dude, listen, I think I think that you see it. You can see, like, I don't want to see, like when Aiden Hutchinson is on the sideline of a football game, or even when he's up in the stands, right? Like, sitting there, you can see with his leg up. And he's not in uniform, but he's there. I love it. You want to know why? Because there's 16 games, 17 games, once a week. I love it. I love seeing him there. He's still there, bro. He's still there, rooting for his team. Even if he has to be there, I don't give a shit. But when I see Luka on the sideline of Dallas, and he hasn't played in 24 games, and he's just not suited up, and he's just sitting there, like, watching the game, like, on the court, like, he could almost start. I hate that. And obviously he's injured, but it's just like, I don't like, dude, make the games more impactful. These players will play, the ones who are resting, right? And it's and I think that's how it has to be, bro. Like, imagine if we're just like, yeah, we're not going to start Goff. we think we can win without him. But no, like you have to win every game because every game matters. So like people are going to be, and they're not just going to be going out there and playing. They're going to be trying to win because wins matter.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying there needs to be 18 games in the basketball. Obviously, I'm just reading so much chat. But like you start off, let's remove 10 games. Let's remove 5 games. Let's see how it affects. You know what I mean? Like this can be a gradual process where they can figure out, all right, what's gonna make these guys try every game.
Yep.
And all of that though, like if you're the NBA, think about the NFL. They're doing the opposite. They want to add games. Like if you're the NBA, you got to eat all that ad revenue that you're no longer getting. That's less that networks are going to want to pay for your product. So it's a lot. It's a big decision to make.
Yeah.
100%. Guys, this is we're going to move on to a little college basketball here.
Sure.
I have never had so much fun in my life watching a sport than I've had watching men's college basketball this year.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Every night, dude, there seems like to be 4 or 5 massive matchups. I'm loving the SEC. I'm loving the Big Ten. I'm loving the Big East. It's super fun. There's a lot of teams that have a chance to win it all, and that's one of the beauties of college basketball. I want to take a look at team futures right now.
I got 3 for you, JB.
Okay, Chris has 3. So we're going to look at team futures. Let me just list like the top 10 here, Chris, for chat. This is who is going to win it all this year. No Illinois schools. You can't bet on Illinois college schools in the state that you live in, or college schools in the state that you live in, at least in Illinois. I don't know if it's true everywhere. But we've got Duke is plus 450, leading the way. Auburn plus 500. Houston plus 800. Iowa State plus 1,100. Alabama plus 1,300. Florida plus 1,600. Tennessee's plus 2,000. Kentucky plus 2,200. Kansas plus 2,800. Michigan State plus 3,000. I'll be 2 more. Texas Tech plus 4,000. Marquette plus 4,000.
Okay.
So let's pick 3 that you would be comfortable putting a unit on in hopes that it hits for college basketball winning it all this year.
Yeah. I got 2 that I'm confident in. Like that are fun bets to me. Okay. Arizona is plus 5,000.
Yep.
They have some key wins on the season. When Caleb Love, like he's had such a bad season, but when he's on and when this Arizona team is on, they can beat anyone. So if they get hot at the right time in March, Arizona is a team that can be really, really fun. Okay? So Arizona is one that I think is fun. And then another one I think is really fun at plus 1,100 is Iowa State. Iowa State lost to Arizona.
Because of Caleb Love's insane shot.
Right. But they beat Auburn. Right. They've had, like, Iowa State has had some huge wins this year. They could beat anyone.
Yep.
And they play great basketball. So I think Iowa State is another one that's just a fun bet. And then my third one, I didn't even really think too much about it. And they've had, man, this team has lost to, like, are they even going to make the tournament? UConn. Just because
they were just down. They were just down 8 to DePaul yesterday, brother.
I know. But like, it's UConn, and they're plus 4,500. That's so much.
That would be the three-peat. That would be the three-peat for them if they win it this year.
So that was my third one. Even though I definitely don't have a lot of faith in that one.
I like it, Chris. I like it. So you are on Iowa State, Arizona, and potentially UConn. I'm like scrolling,
Yep.
Chris. Did you say what UConn is?
They're plus 4,500.
Plus 4,500 UConn. Okay.
I don't even think they can even make a run, but it's UConn. All right. I think Arizona.
It's like bet on them for glory, dude. Bet on them for sign.
Arizona's a more fun team to put $1 on.
100%. All right, Ty.
Nope, not yet.
What do you mean? You're not ready?
I'm not ready. I watched my first year of college basketball. Watching it aggressively was last year, and this year I've been I've not been watching. I've been playing Final Fantasy the last week straight every
Dude,
night.
I'm gonna start sending you one college play a day so that you start just sweating college
Dude, no,
basketball.
100%.
So
no,
fun.
no, I would love that. The only games I've watched right now so far this year are the ones that I've been betting on, and I've only bet on a couple. The last game I watched was like a week ago, and Alex was here, and you sent me. It was your college parlay that you put in your chat, and I tailed it, and I was like, oh, I gotta watch this. This game's super close. I ended up making a bunch of money on it because I had a really good hedge on the last leg. That was, because the first 4 hit. But yeah, no, I've been watching it. So
All right, I'll give mine then.
Be watching it.
Yep, I'll give mine then here. So here's what I like to do, both in my college basketball bets, but also in March Madness. And for those who don't know, like I've done really well in March Madness brackets. I literally won a league that had like 1,000+ people in it at this huge business in Wisconsin. And because I was young too, it was $20 to get in. I won like $2,500, and I was able to buy the Jody's wedding ring. That's how I was able to propose from that, because I was
I love that story.
I was not making a ton of money. It was an awesome. I did great. I picked Michigan to win it all. They were really good that year. They lost, I think, to Louisville in the championship, but I was the only one that had Michigan going that far, and so I won it. It was awesome. So I love it. But again, there's no such thing as lock. So the 3 things I like to look at with college basketball is 3-point percentage, because they just shoot a ton of threes if they're a good shooting team, and the offensive and defensive rebounds. And if you can find a team that has a high 3-point percentage and gets a lot of defensive and offensive rebounds, they tend to do really, really well in the tournament, because you just have to get hot for a game or two to knock a few good teams off. So start here with 3-point percentage. The number 1 team. So this is not a bet I'm making right now, but I just want to announce my sleeper right now before March Madness starts. North Dakota State is the best 3-point shooting team in the country. They can beat anyone because they will just chuck threes all game long, and they shoot them at 40%. They're 270 from 666 right now through 22 games. Villanova is second. Villanova is a good team. They continue to play down to their opponents, but that's a tough conference anyway. I'm not betting on them to win it all here, but that's just a team to keep an eye on. And then 2 of the top teams in 3-point percentage that are decent odds to win it all are Memphis and Houston. Memphis let me down in a big way 2 years ago. I still haven't forgiven them. I'm pretty sure Anthony Hardaway is their coach, and I just think he's going to be awesome and win every year, and he doesn't. But I like Memphis and I like Houston, so I've got Houston at plus 800. Is a good bet to make. I think, Chris, you had them too, right? Yeah. You did not have Houston.
No, that was one I looked really hard at though. Cryer, yeah, they're a solid team.
I think Duke absolutely has a chance to win it all this year, and they might be the best overall team, like all around team. But give me Houston plus 800 over Duke plus 450 all day long. Plus 450 with a whole tournament to play seems crazy to me. And so then if you just go to offensive rebounds, which if you can get a bunch of offensive boards, like it keeps you in games that you don't necessarily belong in. Texas A&M, they're plus 4,500. They shoot the ball well. They're top 10 in offensive rebounds, number 1 overall, and they're top 12 in defensive rebounds. Great team, fun team to watch. They have a great schedule to look at. They've played a bunch of the best teams already in the SEC. And then St. John's, dude. St. John's, you'd have to scroll a little bit. St. Mary's is
You're such a homer, dude.
12,000.
Dude, Tyler, did you pick St. Tyler?
I didn't pick St. Tyler, no, man.
I didn't. I don't remember picking St. Chris either.
No.
You guys are joking, right?
Nope.
Dude, I can't believe you, John. That's so selfish.
Yeah, dude. You're ridiculous,
St. John's. Did you make? Is that even a real school?
Bro, Rick Pitino coaches there, man. Remember that guy from Louisville? Come on.
I'm joking.
And the name is spelled different. You can find them at like plus 8,000, plus 10,000. They're a really, really fun team to watch right now, and they have a coach who's done it and who's been there before. So I like them. And then I hate that I'm going to say this, but dude, Alabama.
Did you just list like 20 teams?
Those are my Houston. Houston.
John just listed like 15 teams.
I
don't think he stopped talking.
Stop it. Houston,
John's like,
St. John's.
how many teams make the tournament?
How many?
32?
I did 4. I did 4.
No, you did like 8 teams.
No, I just gave some nuggets.
Memphis,
Memphis. Those were nuggets. Those were nuggets. A&M, Houston, St. John's, and I will give a fourth. But Alabama, dude. Alabama is so fun. They fly down the court on offense and defense. They get a lot of turnovers. A lot of the turnovers lead to points. They can shoot the lights out. And again, the SEC is really good at basketball this year, unlike football. Just kidding. And they can make some noise. And so I like Alabama a lot. But I'm loving it. I'm going to be watching basketball tonight until midnight, and I'll be upstream by 7.
Cool.
Okay. We are going to. Hey Ty, why don't you throw the banner up?
Yeah, I got it, dude.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Blevins Bro Sports Show is brought to you by DraftKings. That's right. They're our only sponsor. They're our favorite sponsor. All right. If you guys use code Blevins, brand new customers, you guys bet $5. Use code Blevins if you guys download the app, place your bet. You get $200 in bonus bets. We got the Super Bowl right around the corner. All right. We got college basketball heating up, as my brothers have been talking about. All right. We got some very important soccer matches that are going on too, as well. If you guys are like some proper football, eh? All right. So now's the time to hop in, bet smart, bet responsibly, and have some fun. Crown is yours.
Unbelievable, dude. Unbelievable. GG's. All right. We are going to make one Super Bowl fun bet parlay. If you want to tail it, you can. This has nothing to do with the game. This has nothing to do with the play on the field. We will talk about that the entire sports show next week. This one is simply fun so that we all have something to cheer for throughout the game. Fellas.
Yeah, Noah Gray,
Nope.
2 catches.
Nope. Can't do that.
Okay, why not?
Has to be.
Birthday boy Saquon Barkley to score 5 touchdowns plus 15,000.
Stop that. That's too crazy. Stop that right now.
You just said we're having fun.
No, but this isn't a player one, dude. This is like heads or tails. Gatorade color. How long is the national anthem? That next week is for, we'll do like a couple real ones and one fun game one, dude.
Fine.
I can't find them.
I can't find them either. They're not here.
I can't find him either.
All right. Well, it looks like we're doing a long shot player prop parlay. I got it. Saquon Barkley, 2 touchdowns. Next.
Wait. Okay. I'm going to add to Tyler's Saquon Barkley birthday boy. 5 touchdowns.
Love that. Love that.
No, that's crazy, Chris.
I'm joking. Just let me have fun.
I want you to have fun, but I'm really disappointed that this isn't in here.
Did you know you can do first half, second half touchdowns? That's how you get your money. That's how you get your. Is that always been a thing? Saquon Barkley to get a touchdown in the first half is plus 140.
I can't believe that they don't have the they don't have those little fun props up yet.
Yeah, that's a little goofy.
Yeah, we'll have to
John,
do this next week. That's fine.
Yeah, we'll just do it next week.
Man, you can do will there be a kickoff return for a touchdown plus 2,200?
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
We're gonna have to do it
All
next
right.
week, dude. We're gonna have to do it next week. That's
Hey, that sounds good to me.
brutal. Guys, great sports show tonight, though.
Yeah, honestly, I like the vibe. Different, especially talking about not only talking about football. Kind of a vibe.
Well, welcome to it, dude. After next week, we have a lot of stuff to talk about.
Cool.
Gonna be a blast.
excited.
I'll see you tomorrow morning, JB. Yeah.
Chris, let's connect soon, dude. Ty, I'll see you tomorrow morning.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, until next time, next Thursday night.
Take care of each other.
All right, love you, boys.